Orange guy here. All right, we're going to talk about how to conclude. Okay, we're going to use logic. How to conclude? You're getting hit in the frontal lobe. Okay, in your head. How do you get there with logic? Okay, with expression devices. How do you conclude that? Okay, because I basically had to come. I had the same thing happen about what year and a quarter ago when I talked about that. I said, look, I got pulled so hard in one direction, then I got pulled in the other direction. I got pulled really hard. Okay, then like how did I get back to center? How do you get back to center? You've been pulled apart basically of like this is true, this is not. You're getting pulled apart, especially with the devices on. You get pulled apart. Okay. How do you get back to center? How do you get back to center? That's logic will help bring you there. You need logic. Some of which helps is trustworthy source, right? And some of which logic. So between the two, the whole point is getting back to center. How do you get Humpty Dumpty back together again? Pipsqueak says, look, I can still count. I can still count 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay, Pipsqueak. First off, your counting needs work. Okay, second, look, the counting, it only relies a little bit on the frontal lobe. Part of that is kind of, I don't know, I couldn't tell you exactly. I don't know enough about the brain construction, okay, to tell you where it's stored. But some of those things are drilled into your head so much that you don't rely on the frontal lobe as much to get there, okay? So how can you conclude? Look, I'm getting hit in the frontal lobe by, for sure. I can tell you for sure you're getting in the frontal lobe. Like right now, you definitely are. And like, but orange guy, how do you function? Still, look. I'm getting smashed in the head too, and you seem like you're more functional. It's like, look, I'm an expert basically at this because I've been smashed in the head for so long. Okay, so here's option one. Option one, you can say, look, you go underground. Okay, go underground. Look at a picture. Look at a picture. You say, look, I'm looking at a picture, and close your eyes. Okay, how many of those things can you remember of the picture? Maybe it's 10. Okay, maybe it's 10 or whatever. Okay. Now underground will get you out of the suppression waves basically. Underground. That's why I say underground. So then you go above ground. And say, look, I'm looking at a different picture. How many can you remember? It will be less. It will be less. I guarantee. It will be less. Okay. Now that's for the people that have the option of going underground, right, and going above ground, because underground will get you out of those suppression waves. Okay, the high frequency waveforms that are happening. Now, another option you can use is look, you can use that picture counting method. I'm using picture counting. I'm gonna try it right. I'm gonna try it with a frequency generator on. Frequency generator. Okay, at 50,000 hertz, 50 kilohertz. Okay, with sine waveform. Okay, there's apps for that on your phone. You can get one frequency generator. It can only do 22,000 hertz in sine wave, but it's decent. It's decent. Okay, it's decent. You can say, look, I'm gonna do the picture count with the frequency generator on. And then I'm gonna do the count frequency generator off. Okay, and you will remember more with that frequency generator on. That's not because the frequency generator is magical. That makes your brain work better. It's basically just simply fending off waves that chipbags keep turning on. So it's not that, oh, this frequency generator helps your brain work so much. No, that's not that. Don't come to that conclusion because that would be wrong. Okay, it's just simply fending off the other waves in that general area. That's what's happening. So 50,000 hertz is the best one in sine waveform. But there is one, like I have an app that does 22,000. It's decent. It's decent. So each time, so when you try this picture count method, okay, you see improvement, and you can say, look, there is a change when this happens, and maybe you need to do both. Maybe you need to, if you have options, try both options, and you can successfully come to a conclusion with logic that say, look, I have some sort of interference that's happening on my frontal lobe, and now I have this waveform that's fending off other waveforms, and I'm doing better. So you can come to the conclusion of, yep, there is waveform interference with my head, essentially, because people are getting caught in this feedback loop of round and round circles we go. And the other one, and I mentioned this on the website, is sometimes like in the past, and today was the same. If you went 10 o'clock Alaska time. Okay, 10 o'clock Alaska time. You couldn't remember anything. You're having trouble reading. Okay, today, and then noon Alaska time. You're like, look, I'm feeling much better. I can read much better. Whatever. That's because the devices are getting shut off and destroyed during that time and battling it out. so that would be another clue, like time period too. That's yet another clue. Okay, so these are all helpful clues of like, how do you, in this time you're getting smashed on the head, how do you say, yep, for sure I'm getting smashed on the head? This will at least help you and hopefully give you some tips on getting sorted. Getting sorted.